Down by the river, where the soul's awaken. Guitar strings crying, blues notes taken.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Arias in the Nation, and I have a very special guest. You know what? It's not even a guest, a friend here, the Eclectic Beard, aka EB. All right, guys, we've known each other for a long time. We've known each other for a very long time. My God, I feel like we cut our teeth during the same time with Embrace the Suck 21 and you with the Eclectic Beard. We're in that same bracket
Yeah.
of American Reacts niche. And my God, for me, this is more than 3.5 years later since we started.
Yeah.
And you've been in a while, man. You've been in the game a while.
Yeah.
So
I
tell
love
the
the I love
people.
I love to use the word special to introduce because that like short bus special or do I, do
I'm
I get a
just like,
do I get a sparkly helmet and a window to lick it at this point?
I guess the video camera. You can lick the video camera. It's the only window is on the laptop, but trust me, you don't want to lick that screen. You know. But no, man. Tell the people what it is. Just give us a rundown because I like it's weird because on this channel we do a lot of primarily music reactions,
Yeah.
and what happens is the music reaction crowd sticks with the music reactors. There's
Yeah.
not a lot of
Well, I started with music reactions, and so for those that aren't subscribed to both of us, which somehow happens,
yeah,
I
it does.
you know, that's weird because normally us and Embrace the Suck 21, we've got like anytime I pop into y'all's live streams and like, hey, fellas, what's up? Like 900 fucking comments. EB!
Yeah,
And it's like,
yeah,
cheers, everybody. You
yeah.
got to throw that out there. So, the fact that you've been able to differentiate is actually pretty cool. So, I've just went from doing reactions. I've converted my channel for the time being to doing sports watch alongs, and I'm gonna take and do some sports related gaming on the channel. I wasn't gonna do recap and preview videos for the upcoming week's games. Piss on all that shit. I'd rather have fun doing the watch alongs and playing some video games.
Bringing
And
up like stats. Oh, like
yeah, I thought about that as I started doing the first two videos for recaps, and I was like, yeah, no, this ain't gonna work.
yeah. You go do that
This
and
ain't
like
gonna work. There's channels way better at this than I am. I was like, I'll stick to try to take and just do some commentating whenever there's watch alongs.
yeah.
But I started doing reactions about probably about 6 years ago now, and I cut my teeth doing reactions on mostly like UK artists like Low Key and Akala, people that were bigger in the grime scene,
Mhm.
Devlin, a lot of the folks like that, and yeah, so I'm well acquainted with the music reactions. Tom McDonald, Crypt, Upchurch. I My very first live stream after taking and getting monetized on this channel, Upchurch rolled through and did $100 uh, super chat
Whoa, that's
telling me to
awesome, man.
keep up the good work. It's independent artists depend on reactors
Yep.
like me, and I was like, bro, I flipped. I was like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
that's
Upchurch,
awesome.
holy shit! So I cut my teeth on that and moved over, much like Embrace the Suck 21 with taking and doing the culture and stuff reactions. So yeah, that's kind of
It's interesting, man. Like there's a few in our graduating class now. That's what I'm calling it.
yo.
Like
You mean those of us who have hit the 100K mark?
yeah, in our
Yeah,
graduating class,
I like
there's
that.
a few, and some recent ones, and we've had King Boomer on the channel too. You know, same way, guys. Like this whole thing, I feel like the first interview I was ever asked to be on was this guy's right here, and that was a laggy shit show on our end. That was absolute.
Yeah, that was taken. Ask the question. Give y'all at least 5 minutes to answer
Yep.
the question because of how laggy y'all's end was.
It's like
Luckily, that did improve over time, but
yeah,
that
it's like
bro, that feels like it's been so long ago too.
it
But it
feels
feels
like
like it was
ages.
yesterday. It's crazy.
Ages, bro. I was so nervous, so excited. I was like, bro, oh, this is so cool. We finally get to meet someone else. You're the first one that reached out like in our community, and it kind of planted the seed. It's like, you know what, this is a thing. We need to, you know, we need to show people that we are connected as well.
Yeah,
Like
it's wild because whenever I started taking it, because Squirrel was the first one I reached out to, which I've known Squirrel for a hot minute through the beer community. And all right, so I've got a whole channel nobody will ever fucking see. This got pepper pod reviews, ultra hot pepper pod reviews. Only got 3 videos up on it anymore. But it's like the Carolina Reaper, trying the Carolina Reaper and then trying some other pepper. And nobody will ever see those unless you're a close friend. I'm like, watch how stupid this is. But I was watching that community on YouTube at that time. So, you know, you're like, that looks like it'd be easy to get into until you actually try it. And it's like,
my insides, it's not sustainable.
Well, you learn after about 3 or 4 pepper pods ways that they can mitigate some of the damage. But my first foray into YouTube was actually to take and do. I was working construction at the time, and everybody drinks. 90% of the people that taken, at least at that time, that were taking to work in construction, drank Bud Light. You know what I'm saying? Bud Light or Michelob Ultra. Those are the 2 go-tos for 90% of the people. Until Bud Light wanted to get Dylan Mulvaney on board, now everybody, you know, had a hissy fit and I'm not drinking Bud Light no more. They go buy some craft beer owned by Anheuser-Busch, which I find that I'm gonna I'm gonna start drinking Coors, and I'm like, well, they support the same shit that Bud Light does. You know that, right? Like,
it's like you played
whatever,
yourself.
dum. Exactly. I'm like, whatever, dum.
But yeah, no. So you were in the beer community for a hot minute, weren't you?
About 2 years almost. And it's funny because within that time period, I'd started watching reactions like No Life Shaq, Matthews Fam, Simba the God, Simba. There's so many, Alex Hefner. Like, there's a lot of the heavy hitters that whenever I started watching, and like Art of Kicks, one of my favorites to take and watch too. But whenever I started watching them, I want to think No Life Shaq had like 200,000-300,000 subs. I remember when that mug took across the 1 million mark. Same thing with like the Matthews Fam. I remember when they were at like 20,000 subs. Like that's how early on their stuff I got in them. But I enjoyed watching that stuff because they're reacting to stuff I grew up listening to. I'm like, there's no way you couldn't have heard the song, even if you were a rap fan or you were this kind of fan. Like, because this shit was ubiquitous everywhere on the radio at the time, and in ads. But their enjoyment of it and their breakdowns they would take and get, exactly. And I love stuff like that. I'm like, bro, this kind of cool. Well, being in the beer community, as much as I love my friends in the beer community, I'm so glad I got the fuck away from that stuff. There was too many nights I'd have 18 beers that I've gotten for review purposes, and by the end of the evening in the all fair hangout on Google Meetup, I'd had 6 beers left, so I'd have to wind up spending too much money on beer because 90% of what I wanted to review got drank before I could review it. So
and by the time you drank it, you're probably feeling it already, and you're like, after review, we're just going right.
It was it was the on airs on Craft Beer Pours channel. He's out of Boston, and he's no longer taking to doing that type of stuff, but there'd be 10 of us up on a panel, and it was Katie bar the door craziness. Like, you get 10 drunk asses up on a screen. There's no telling what's going to be said. There's no telling what kind of drama happens. And there's a lot of it. There's a lot of that. So, but I took and switched from doing that. I started doing reactions, and like, my YouTube journey has been absolutely bonkers. Not even going to lie, because I got 6 or 7 reaction videos in, and the Tesla Cybertruck unveiling happened. And I happened to react to that because it was in the news feeds of Facebook and stuff like that, articles on it. I was like, well, shit, I didn't know that happened. You know, Tesla coming out with a truck. Let me react to it. I reacted to it. It got like 400 views within the first 6 hours. And I'm putting out 3 reaction videos a day at this point. You know, I'm starting off. This is not long after I'd started dealing with dizziness the first go round. And so I'm at home. The kids are at school. I've got nothing to do but record reactions. So, you know, you go from one to the next, and the next. Nothing's really hitting. You're hoping to get 100 views, 200 views, trying to get things off the ground. that video, 400 views, first 6 hours. 2 other videos right after had already been put up. 2 weeks later, I'm talking with JV and Blake, and JV's like, "Hey, that Cybertruck video is blowing up, ain't it?" I hadn't looked. This is what made me start looking into analytics.
Yeah.
So I was like, "What are you talking about? Let me go to studio. 20,000 views in the last 48 hours. What the fuck?"
Yep.
So I actually divested from taking and doing reactions. Now, granted, this is a whole 2 weeks past. At that point, right there, I made a decision to take and lean harder towards EVs and the Cybertruck specifically, and wound up a couple days after taking and doing that, setting up the channel that I currently everything blew up on, just as a repository for when I wanted to take and do reactions. And then COVID hit, and the rest is kind of history, because about 8 months into that, I switched from doing UK grime and independent artist reactions to actually Al Murray, and then Peter K, and everything else kind of followed, and everybody kind of followed that blueprint right along with me. So
Yep. It's funny how, like, it's like I feel like it's a double-edged sword sometimes. Like, you want to definitely be keyed into your audience, your the people that subscribe to your channel, and you take their recommendations to heart, especially when you are starting out and you're trying to you start seeing the train move a little bit. You're like, okay, we got some steam, and then you play heavily on recommendations and suggestions. And then let's say a year after that, you look, and then you start getting comments like, "You're just like all the other ones." It's like,
oh yeah,
all the other ones too.
Oh yeah, oh dude, that's one of the things that has driven me up. I tell you, as much I've gotten a few comments like, what gets me is whenever you take and try to react to something and you have to cut the hell out of it to take and get it on YouTube, and you've got some dickhead over here going, "Well, tap 316, tap 316, or Jen and Becky over here, or Dave and whoever over here took and got a reaction up." I'm like, I was like, "Well, go," and I've said this numerous times. Well, go fucking watch them then.
Yeah,
I can give a shit what they are able to take and get up. I've got to take and go by the constraints that have been put on my channel, because there's not even application of the rules across the board on YouTube,
bro. And that's the part that, as much as we're all plugged in, YouTube does a good job of like throwing the gaggle fuckery into the mix. Like, I can't reach out and assist any other person on this journey, because it depends what YouTube wants to do with you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
100%.
it's like, are they going to
100%.
allow it up on your channel? Maybe. Are they going to allow you to put it up on the channel with text on the screen? Maybe not.
Maybe.
Or,
yeah,
or
exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, I can't. It limits us helping each other. And that kind of isolates us even more when you like zoom out. You're like, okay, even if I were to ask for help, I can only get the best practices. Not this is the way to help this specific thing go through. And but I feel like as a whole, in our recent class, we did a pretty good job not stepping on each other's toes, especially with how everything was moving at the time, where everyone was doing it. We did a good job of rotating,
taking and giving each other space of letting the video breathe for you before I took and posted mine, or they posted their. Oh yeah, 100%.
And vice, and there's always going to be times where, like,
you release something, mine's scheduled an hour after yours, and I'm like, these fucking dickheads.
Just like, bro,
fuck, let me reschedule this for a couple days later. I've got this one that's supposed to be this time. I'll take and release it here.
What happens is, when you're like banking content, when you're in that grind, you're just like, you have to kind of sort of have that tunnel vision, but ish aware of the scene. But man, when you're just going through content, just pushing it out, reacting to stuff, it happened a lot less times than I thought would have. It happened a handful of times, not even, but a handful of times it happened like that.
I think we all had crossover videos, like at the same time. One of us would release like the two Ronnies, and like 30 minutes later, the other, somebody else's video would come out at the same time. But both of
Yeah.
those videos for each other would wind up taking and doing half decent most of the time. Same thing with like, Eric and, Morecambe and Wise and some others like that.
Yep.
And you're right, it didn't happen as much as you thought. Let me ask you this: how often did y'all? Because it sounds like y'all did a lot of stuff like I did as far as the recording. I would take and record 10, 15 videos in a sitting. Sometimes the channel might see 7 of them. Like, did y'all ever take and throw away like reactions that y'all would take and record and be like, nah, this just ain't up to snuff? Or we didn't have the energy and it shows through?
Well, what happens was in the very beginning when we were, because Embrace the Suck started out at a storage unit. And we went there once a week. I went there once a week after work. So I was drained, but we only had a little bit of time. And so we focused more on, like, I would say the shorter form stuff. That's when like music was perfect, because usually we got to 15 to 18 videos in a slot, right? And then they would get scheduled and out then. But when we started to do the longer stuff, right? I don't know where I'm going with this. My train got derailed. But I want to tie it back into common sense real quick. So yeah, we were usually like maybe 10 to 8 videos out. Anything that got blocked, we kept, and to eventually put on this mythical place called Patreon.
Yeah.
That we saved them. We didn't delete nothing that didn't make it up.
I should have started my Patreon about a year and a half before I finally started promoting it.
Oh,
like 100%.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's
hindsight.
Yeah, that whole block reacting, like I did that a lot, but I wound up about half of them would just take and go into the trash, because I'd be like, yeah, that one I knew when I was recording it. I could tell about it by the time I was done recording it. It didn't feel like the previous one. This funny video, but it didn't quite hit me the same way. And you can tell. And while you don't want to take and put up, you don't want to be dishonest, you also don't want to put something up where people are like, oh, he's just not into it.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It'll just get thrown away. You're like, nah, fuck that.
I don't even think that's a tough call to make, because you have to this is weird. You have to appease the algorithm god, and then
your community as well.
Community. These are both two different ones, right?
I've had people taking. It's easier to take and appease the fucking algorithm god sometimes than your own goddamn community, because people in your community, you take and have an opinion different from theirs on a fucking video that you react to, and they'll be like, I'm done with this fucking channel. It's like, well, fuck you, get out of here then.
I absolutely love that. I made I think I've mentioned this in a couple talks we've had. I made a top 5 video of musicians I've had on the channel, but they didn't have had on the channel. They're like top 5 musicians, like bar none. This is the list to die for. And you would have thought I punched everyone's kid in the throat. Like, you would have thought. I was like, what?
No, it's absolutely insane the way. And here's the thing, right? Like, for anybody who listens to this is like, oh, he's shitting on the communities. Yeah, kind of. If you're not a content creator, yes, the fuck I am, because I love my community. 90% of my community are fucking awesome. The other 5%, they're really cool, but they're a little bit mouthy, which you need, because you need that constructive criticism. About 3% of your community that comes in are all fucking troll and dickheads, and they can go fuck themselves. Simple as that.
Hear me out on this. It's that, like, people, there's a lot of people that don't understand how to be a part of a community or tie into what you're trying to build, or have the big picture view of what you're trying to do on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
They're the nomads that just drift, and they just start little mini fires everywhere they go. That's not your
same ones that'll
community.
take and be like, you can't take constructive criticism. No, I just don't like dickheads. I can take constructive criticism, but also on that note, it's like, wait, let's not get things twisted here. If I decide that I don't want to take and hear your fucking bullshit because you give me a critique and I don't agree with your critique, that's well within my right as a content creator, because I'm putting myself before others, which means I have a certain level of narcissism you don't fucking have.
Yeah. And then I love the hate where I'm like, why don't you do it? do your video better. When you do your reaction channel, just make
Right.
sure yours is better.
No, it's crazy. It's
Uh,
absolutely it's funny seeing stuff. And the thing is, I love getting the constructive criticism because it tells me where I need to improve.
yeah,
But too many times people want to come in and give me criticism to take and be like everybody the fuck else on YouTube. I don't want to fucking do that.
yeah.
I'm already doing something similar
It's
to everybody else in this fucking niche. I've got to stand out in my own fucking way.
it's funny because talking about like niches, like the music reaction thing, I hit a burnout, man. I hit a hard
Oh yeah.
burnout with this channel with the music reactions. I was dropping at one point like 6 a day, and I'm like, bro,
It's funny you
because
say that because I was watching I was taking and noticing as many videos as you put, and I was like, oh, this motherfucker gonna burn out quick doing this shit.
it was a flash in the pan, bro. Like, because what I had done, if you know what I had done was try to appease all the tribes first. You know, it's like, okay, well, I have this in this camp, this in this camp, this in this camp. You know, if I were to space them out, camps are going to be unhappy.
That's one of the craziest things about doing music reactions that you don't see in any other niche of the reaction niche in and of itself is the tribes that you have doing the music reactions, because you got Nightwish, you got people for Ginger, you got fucking Pink Floyd tribe, all these different tribes.
Yep.
One of the things that I always try to take and do was, number one, if I notice I've gained a portion of a tribe, about every week or every 2 weeks, that's when I put out another video for them. Because if what happens is they'll take over your channel so fucking quick.
Yeah.
And then it's no longer your channel at that point.
No, then it's
and they don't understand, that.
You know,
as much as they want to say, "I'll do what you know." No.
it's
And that's kind of like that with the American React stuff too. Because if you take and do something outside of that general thing,
but you know what,
either
though?
don't get the views, or you get flack from your community, and it's like.
But you know what? I don't see them being as vocal as the music side of though. Like, you'll have one comment once in a while. Like, where did these go?
You see it more in views
Yeah.
than you do with the music the music community and the different tribes.
Yeah.
I love the Nightwish community, but y'all are some loud motherfuckers.
Oh my god, dude! There's some crazy it's like there's these like warring factions. They're just like, it's this or nothing. And I'm like, guys, there's a lot of music out there. Like, I understand and I respect what music means to you, especially what this band means to you personally. But you know, there's other musicians, other artists out there. And
it's funny because it's the same. As much as it's like that, but like Nightwish is what I find even as hilarious, or sometimes as frustrating, like Angelina Jordan, amazing voice, best vocalist in the world. Let's not go too far now.
It's crazy how almost rabid.
Then you take and do one or two of her reactions, and you do somebody like Dimash, or you do somebody else, and then they start comparing in the comments, and it's like, fucking stop.
Yeah, like, what are you even doing?
Just fucking stop. Like,
you know,
they're great in their own rights. There's no such thing as the greatest singer in the world. I don't give a shit what any expert says. It's all fucking subjective.
100%. And how that music hits you personally on an individual level.
Exactly.
Like for me, it's kind of, I love the fans of bands that champion a certain band. That I mean, if I were to be a musician, I would love that. I would want that. I need that, you know. But what happens is there's a point where all the suggestions to specific band, even when it's out of place, like let's say I'm doing a live stream and all this, or a video about opening a door, and all of a sudden you're like, have you checked out? Like, whoa, just calm down. Like, time and place, guys, time and place, you know. Like, so what happened with my journey is, like, I ended up with a lot of different tribes on the channel, and I was getting burnt out trying to cater to the tribe, and I was just like, guys, I'm just done. I'm just done. And it's not like I hate music reactions, but when there's this pressure that is unspoken from the algorithm, from what YouTube wants, and then unspoken pressure from
The community
the
itself.
community,
Yeah.
and then not just that, the different communities that have all been like catered to at one point, and then putting that on it, and then realizing the the back end of things, like, what am I even doing, bro? Like, it's like the pressure that I was feeling, it's like it's not worth it. It's not worth it. The end game, the end result at the end of the day on the 21st, it's not worth it. Like, what am I even doing? You know, especially when Arias in the Nation is I would say, is the music escape pod from Embrace the Suck 21, because we tried music again on Embrace the Suck 21 and basically shot ourselves in the foot. No one was there for it. We lost that
Yeah.
community completely, bro. Like,
One of the craziest things for me, which, can I make an announcement on here? Like,
yeah,
because my last video on my channel was, this has been a long time coming, and people took it as I'm done with reactions completely. For anybody that wants to go back and listen to that, if you're a fan, if your community,
I'll link it. I'll link it.
If you're subscribers to both of us, I said I can't do reactions. I'm not in the mind space to do reactions, right? I can't do them anymore for YouTube at the moment. I've been doing reactions for 5 years. Yes, I'll always, at this point, I'm going to continue doing sports, and we're going to take and do deep dives into sports going further. At some point in time, I don't know how long it's going to take. Might only be a month, might be 6 months, might be a year. Who knows? But at some point, you'll either see an announcement for a new channel, or I'll just take and switch that channel back over and start a new channel for sports.
Yeah.
I'm not done with reactions. I've already got 2 videos that I've got recorded with new presentation ideas that I'm going to be bouncing off of different people. Like, I'm not done at all. Like,
Well,
it's just done at the moment.
It's you know what happens is, it's like this.
But it's because I got burnt out trying to take and please the algorithm, and then doing movies like Darkest Hour, like 9.6 thousand. Then I wanted to take and start doing like Furiosa, less than 1,000 views. I think 400 views on the Chainsaw Man episode 1. I'm like, bro, this is one of the more popular anime, and I noticed some good anime, people within my community. I'm like, so at some, part of this is algorithm, and I know part of this is changing, but if none of this is going to get pushed out, even if I keep doing it, I need to take a break from reactions, because otherwise I'm on I'll be ready to take and jump off a really tall bridge.
Yeah, like this is what is it? Nothing. I was going to say something, but I'm not bringing that to this channel. It's interesting to see. It's this weird balancing act that you have to do with algorithm, and like your burnout, and what it takes to crack that algorithm again. Like, I feel like we all understand, like, with your 5 years in, our collective more than 3.5 years, we know what it takes to hustle and hit the algorithm, right? But that is a ton of grinding.
Well, it's
tons of time.
It's not only a ton of grinding, but you come to a certain point, even if you're still putting out content, where you don't care if the algorithm just hits your community for a bit.
Yep.
Because you don't have the gumption to hit that fucking algorithm to take and grow the channel past the 5 or 6 people extra that you might take and get per video.
Yep. Yep.
And that's where I've been at for almost a year now.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the other things too that I have that a lot of folks that get burnout don't have is a company that took and did an investment in my channel 2 years ago, hanging over my fucking head.
That's right.
So
I completely forgot about that, bro.
Yeah, so I've still got that hanging over me. So I've still got to take and I don't have to take and hit metrics and shit like that because I had them change the contract.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, I had them change the contract, so if I didn't hit certain metrics, they weren't going to try to take my channel. For anybody thinking that you take and do reactions to take and make money, this is not. If I wanted to make money on YouTube, like good money on YouTube, I'd have stuck taking and looking at EVs and vehicles, because my CP or my RPM on average per video here for my 200,000 view or a million view videos is like $1.38 RPM.
Mhm.
That 40,000 view Cybertruck video and the 20,000 view follow up videos had $7 RPMs.
Yeah, huge difference. Huge difference.
Massive fucking difference. This is not the niche to get into to take and be making money with. And a lot of folks don't understand that. That's the reason why to be successful, to make money as a reaction YouTuber, you want 5 to 7%, which if I'd have started my Patreon earlier, I think I'd have wound up getting that. But you want 5 to 7% of your subscriber base to follow you to Patreon.
Mhm.
They can actually pay $2, $3, $5, $7 a month for or whatever you want to charge them for fucking content, and have a good mixture of videos. You're not worried about getting hit with a copyright claim,
Mhm.
and ones that you know that you're going to be able to take and do, especially top 10 lists and stuff like that that you can react to, or vanilla stuff that you can react to, that'll be fully monetized.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to make money as a reaction.
But I feel like if you're on this, reaction grind to make money,
you're doing it for the wrong
reasons. Get out. That's not the way.
Dude, this is a niche that people take and watch as content consumers.
Yeah.
To connect with someone. And if you're not taking and doing reactions to make a connection with people who are going to take and even if they disagree with your viewpoint, but they're looking for that connection of someone who they feel like understands the reason why they like something.
Mhm.
If you're not doing it for that reason, get the fuck out of it.
Yeah, no, get
the fuck out of it. Because you're
wrong reasons.
Go do another niche because you're a cancer,
and it'll show 100%.
I think people that take and watch reaction channels need to understand something. It's one of the reasons why New Life Shack is so big. It's one of the reasons why Alex Hefner is so big. It's one of the reasons why it's at one point the Matthews family was so big.
Oh, I missed them, man. When's the last time you saw a video from them?
They still upload videos, but they've had to change the content because whereas Shaq didn't get some strikes, and neither did Alex Hefner, they were taking a catch because they were just behind both of them, and you know what that means. Well, if you're not at the top or at the second, a lot of times you're third, fourth, fifth, you're the ones taking and catching all the blocks and strikes and shit like that. So you're catching all the shit that's rolling downhill. That's how it works, and I don't understand the reason why it works like that, but. And
so they can only afford to prop up one or two at a time.
That's what it feels like. But not only that, I think the other thing for the Matthews fam is, as good as they were, Alex Hefner stuff, his editing and the presentation of the reactions and how he'll have himself in just a little bubble and the what he's reacting to full screen, and then he'll take and go a big bubble over top, or he'll take and go full screen and take and give an opinion. If you can still hear stuff in the background, or it'll go muted and he'll go back down, and the changes and stuff like that. And in No Life Shack, with the way he's able to take and bring across an entertainment value that you're not finding within the original video either. That's one of the reasons why they've gotten so big. The other reason is both of them are heavily invested into their communities.
Yeah.
Both of them are.
Yeah.
More so, and you won't see them in the comments as much as you'll take and see them responding to people on their Instagram post or on their X post. So you've got to take and be as invested in more invested in your community than it is the money that you're trying to take and make if you're taking and doing reactions. 100%.
Yeah. You can't 100%. Build it and expect they'll come, because they'll come, but then it's like, then
they'll take and leave if you don't take and show any kind of love for them.
It's like, you built this place, but you're not here. It's like, exactly. It's pointless.
And that's one of the things, like, it's nice to take and make money. Like, once you start doing this and you're ever taking get monetized, you do have to have a business mindset, because you're having to pay taxes to the IRS, or if you're going to try to, like me and Daniel, I don't do it now, but at some point I'll get back to that point, but sell merch, and you've got Patreon and stuff like that. You've got to have a bit of sense towards business and towards making money and maximizing where you can make that money. Because I'll be honest with you, my wife is the one working because I'm dealing with the dizzy stuff again.
Yeah.
But being able to take and pay for the lights with a paycheck, or being able to take and get a fucking video game without dipping into my wife's fucking money.
Yeah,
Being
man.
able to take the kids somewhere out to fucking eat.
Yep.
Or as I was doing during the fucking pandemic, I was bringing in, full disclosure, there was months I'd bring in $2,500, $2,600 a month.
Yep.
But I was making more than my wife at that point. But also at that point, everything seemed to be, as compared to 6 months before the pandemic to when the pandemic hit and you're 6 months in, the fucking price differences of everything was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Everything except gas. Like,
Bro,
my groceries went up $40 3-4
That's-
months. It's crazy. So
yeah.
I'm paying bills so my wife could try to put money back. We're trying to take and fix a vehicle. So I might have took and made some decent money, certain, a couple months here or there, but that money all went right out the fucking door.
It's not money, like, it's not about the money made, it's about money retained and saved. And that's
not, I'm not making the kind of money that I'm not making SS Sniper Wolf type of money here, folks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
I don't have a pretty face or pretty cleavage to take and make that kind of money either.
But you have a magnificent beard, bro. I think this is as long as I can take it before I rip it out myself. Like, it gets to this point where I'm just like, my face is on fire.
Once you take and let it get about it, start getting to where it'll want to curl up a little bit. That's when a lot of the itching starts going away, because
then it's like, we're here forever.
Yeah.
We're like, we know this guy. He's too lazy. Like, we're fine. We're safe. What, like, and having that business mindset is kind of why I think the current count for me, I'm like, right now I have 11 different channels, including Patreon and a Rumble. Like, I've tried to diversify as much content as possible, because early on I saw, music reactions should stay with music reactions. Don't try to put food reviews or DIY projects on that channel.
And that's the thing that pisses me off the most about YouTube. You shouldn't have, number one, you're in the entertainment category. So it doesn't matter if that entertainment is a reaction or a gaming video or whatever else, as long as it's within that entertainment category. Well, it should all fall under entertainment for the algorithm purposes.
Yeah.
But they want to take and niche everything down so much that you've got to take and break everything up into channels, which makes recording that much more of a pain in the ass.
Very, very frustrating, because it's like, I can do what I want, but only what we approve. You can, only this. Because if you try to do something different, it's going to throw you off completely. Yeah. Like, early on Embrace the Suck, we learned that, like, a very hard way. We're doing like a food review, we're doing a podcast, we're going live, we're doing we try to review beers with the food that we were trying, and it's just, we had a ton of different kinds of things, and we're shooting ourselves in the foot. And so what happens is you have all these channels that primarily just do the one thing, because if they ever try to do something different, and a lot of people in the subscriber pool, but like, we would love to see you do this or this, show us some more of your area, how you do, bring us in. Like, YouTube doesn't want me to do that.
Yeah,
because if I do that, you're not going to see
a whole other channel for it.
Yep.
And I think this is one of the things a lot of folks don't understand as well. Whenever you start trying to take and break up content and take and put it into different places, you might personally want to see it, right? And 400 other people within my comment section might want to see it as well. That's fine and dandy. If I do a video showing you this, 80 of y'all might take and see it.
Yeah.
30 of y'all might take and get the notification that I've took and put a video out for it.
Yeah.
If I start a channel specifically for that type of content, out of that 400 people, 100 might take and move over. More than likely, it's going to be about 30 people. So then you're starting a channel from scratch. And it's not your main thing, but you want growth on it the same as you want on everything else. Like, it's, and you have to, in my opinion, like, this is the thing, at least for me, that's so hard for people to understand. Like, I'm so competitive in everything I fucking do. Mm-hmm. So I love you guys, but y'all, not only are y'all friends, but y'all were competition to me. 100%. I wanted to see y'all succeed, but I wanted to succeed more. but that's only fucking natural. But I'm like that with everything I fucking do. But I think that they can be successful on YouTube or in any aspect that you take and do things, you got to fucking be like that. I don't care if you're taking a stock and milk at fucking Walmart.
Yeah, you gotta be the best.
You got to be better than the motherfucker that took and stock during the morning shift. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, well, then what's the fucking difference?
Yeah.
Why should you get a raise? Why should you? You know what I'm saying? And you've got to take that mindset. Why should you take and get more subscribers than this person over here? Because you're taking and putting. It's not so much even just putting more time and effort into it. You know what I'm saying? It's you've got to take and not only have that fucking drive, but you got to have that fucking competitiveness, because that'll take and want you always improve in every aspect of the videos that you're taking and putting out. And there's too many people that don't understand. That's one of the reasons I've got like 10 channels. I post to one.
Yep.
And that's the reason why, because I pull something over here. Well, this is going to start taking and suffering a little bit.
It's you know, and if you want to see this, like, you know, as much as people would say, oh no, you know, we like you, we got your back, right? I love those comments, love those individuals, all 10 of you guys that are out there on the internet, all those 10 good ones that exist, that comment that, like, when I started Arias in the Nation, at its very beginning, fledgling state, it was a live channel, right? But I was like, okay, I could do this and I could go on my own journey. I think that'd be kind of cool to have like an offshoot of Embrace the Suck. No one came over.
Yeah.
Like there was no coming over to the channel for various reasons. But
and that's the reason why I don't have a Rumble.
Yeah.
That's the other
teeth, bro.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing. Like I've had so many people with stuff like aloe and fucking it ain't half hot mom and all these different stuff. Like I tell folks I've got a ton of stuff. Like I've got Reginald Perrin, Bottom, Good Life, Keeping Up Appearances, Butterfly, One Step, One Foot in the Grave, It Ain't Half Hot Mom, Carry On Films. I've got Steptoe and Son, Dad's Army. I've got box sets upon box sets upon box sets. I ain't got nowhere to fucking put them.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, put stuff on Daily Motion, put stuff. I'm like, I've tried that. That's what half of you people don't understand. I've tried that. And what people don't understand is you take and move to, you put content on a Rumble, or you put content over here on Daily Motion. Out of 120 something thousand subs that I think y'all have, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you already take and put that content on Rumble, how many people are going to take and move over? 600?
Not even, bro.
Yeah.
Whoa, chill.
And that's
with
what they
those
don't
numbers.
understand. So
chill with those big numbers. That's 600. Come on, man. No way. That's a lot.
That's what folks don't understand. For 600 people, that's not worth my time, because that's putting more time and effort into something to put it somewhere that nobody's going to fucking watch it.
Yeah.
If I speak on something and I've got 7,000 people in my comments talking about they want it. Oh yeah, I'd love to take and see that. Well, if I put it over here and only 300 y'all show up, well, I just wasted my time. If I knew that all 7,000 of you would take and go watch it, yeah, it makes it worth my time at that point, because I know people are going to take and enjoy it.
And heaven forbid, bro. Oh man. Okay, I'm about to pull out the soapbox. Yeah, I
don't like doing this while I'm live, or even while I'm trying to take. I've got to take and put in a dip, because you're about to get on your soapbox. That means I'm about to have a good time.
Yeah. Well, no, it's really, it touches on everything we just covered, man. Is the Rumble, and YouTube does not like you putting anything that isn't YouTube on it.
Patreon or Patreon's only thing that is acceptable to YouTube.
It plays with.
Put a link for. Yep.
Yeah, because like hear me out. This is the whole journey. Like for those people that are watching this, I do have a military type reaction channel called Rectination. Like no, you know, right? No, but I swear to God, I have one. And we started out doing the military reactions, and I knew right off the bat, I was like, okay, we're gonna be walking a fine line, because you know, wars are icky.
Yeah.
Wars hurt. Wars can make people's tum-tums a little sensitive. So I knew that we were going to be skirting a fine line. And then I was sent this box set, The World at War, a long time ago. And I wanted to get to it. Yeah.
That one?
I think so. What is that? Is that Ancient Rome? What is that?
No, the World at War, the Ultimate Restored Edition.
Oh, cool. No, I just got regular World at War, regular good old World at War. But you know what though? It's like I wanted to get to this, and I was finally able to allocate time to get to it. So I go to YouTube and I'm like, all right, it's actually on YouTube, and I was like, I'm gonna react to this, right?
Yeah.
And they wanted me to cut out like 18 minutes of the documentary, and I'm like, that's not happening. That's not happening. Not to a war documentary. I am not going to edit out shit because that's stupid. That defeats the purpose of telling history. If you're just gonna, you can't use this. Excuse me. One, this shit's 50 fucking years old, right? So let's just chill out with that. And two, this is history. It's needed to be visited, at least for us here in the US. I didn't know that documentary even existed, bro. So, I'm going through it. I try to get up on YouTube. Boom, blocked. Okay, going to Rumble, making that shift to Rumble, and for the first, I think 3, I was able to play with the purgatory that videos go through when you dispute them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would upload it, obviously immediately blocked. Then I dispute it, and it would have this day grace time where it's
people can see it.
People can see it. And so
then
I would do a premiere, and it's like, watch it once, and then it's gone forever. And that was it was funny because I would get all the engagement on this video in a day. It was like, man, finally, yes, we got it. Gone. Fucking gone. So people were like, where did it go? People that are that stroll through, I'm talking so much hype about World at War and all this stuff, and they can't see it on YouTube. So like, fuck it. There's a link. There's Rumble link. Boom, it's there on Rumble, unedited. There. Slowly people have started coming over, but because of that, because of me trying to hype up the other path I've taken on this other platform, not just Rec Nation on a war reaction channel, but Rumble, YouTube has 100%, and I want to say it, the thing you're not supposed to, shadow ban.
Oh yeah,
because the reach is limited in their way, right? It's not. It's
well, that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why I think if once I start doing reactions again, I might just start a whole new channel.
Yeah, it's
because
tough.
I think my channel's shadow banned. I don't know, because the numbers just taken justify my mindset on that. 113,000 subs, and outside of an older comedian here or there that would take and hit 60, 70, I'm not hitting even 10% of my viewers.
That's
crazy. That's to me, that's being shadow banned. So
and also the best part is, for me, like the ad suitability, the limited view, like restricted videos, like I was like, okay, maybe it's the content, maybe I pissed them off, maybe I ruined their human sacrifice, maybe like I messed up one of their days, right?
You stopped them from giving the babies to Moloch or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I stepped on someone's Monday at the wrong time. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I go to do like our live streams and just do a regular video, no content.
Nothing.
The live is restricted. And I'm like,
they've definitely.
I'm like, how? And it's crazy. Like this thing that I'm praising and so thankful for with Embrace the Suck 21, Embrace the Globe 21, Arias in the Nation, I am spiteful for on that channel. Because it's like a big fuck you, and all this stuff like has this it all ties together where it's like at the end of the day, we're subcontractors for YouTube, and we have to abide by their ridiculous rules. Fighting it sucks. Fighting it again, it's like working with a terrible boss for a
Yeah.
out of touch company.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, it feels like that, and it's just like that's part of what weighs down and grinds the gears for a lot of these people in our scene. That's, you know, maybe not uploading as frequently as we did. Maybe we're aging quicker. You know, maybe like
Yeah.
we're slowing down because it's like, holy shit. You know, even 3 years ago, YouTube was a little bit different than it is now.
Used to, you would go through cycles of stuff getting blocked,
Yeah.
and then everything being let through, and then cycles of things being blocked. It'd be like a month or two, and about that same month or two, that's when they'd start cutting through all your dead subs and stuff like that. Now, the blocks. I don't think. I think it's been a couple months. I think, which I'm gonna bring up my analytics on my side real quick so I can take and go look. Like it's been a hot minute as far as like the small little clip stuff. Like Gary Delaney, July 15th, 25 weird British laws, and then I was at that point I was still at work because of my head stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, going back to the July and stuff like that. But that's switching from taking and actually doing, because I had a job, a full-time job. I switched from taking and doing the long form stuff
To the quick stuff.
to taking and doing short stuff. And then
Yeah.
once I was no longer able to work, and I started going back to movies and stuff like that. Which, when I do start taking and doing reactions again, I've got some ideas for stuff to take and try to package reactions a little bit differently,
Mm-hmm.
and I might test it out on the. We'll talk about that off screen.
Yeah.
You get motherfuckers listening that'll try to take a copy of your shit.
Yep. No,
You know
I
what I'm
got you.
saying?
No,
And
no trade secrets.
Yeah, exactly. Because if I'm able to pull it off, ain't nobody else doing this shit. Nobody.
Which is awesome, man. That's what you want. My biggest thing for the people listening, man, in our communities, is that we've poured so much
Everything.
into. Like
I've got 5 years of blood, sweat, and tears, and 80-hour fucking weeks to get this shit off the fucking ground. Like, people don't understand the hours going into this stuff neither. 80 hours a week taking in. And I don't know if y'all did this. Like, I'd spend 10, 15, 20 hours a week just in taking, and I'd look back when I was doing the music, I'd see what everybody else was reacting to, what independent artists they reacting to, what's the big trends. And I would spend hours doing this shit. And once the American niche thing started taking off, I'd look at what y'all were doing. I'd see what Squirrel was doing. I would see what King Boomer was doing. I would see what After Work Reactions was doing. I'd go see what Natasha and Debbie had reacted to. And then I'd take and go try to find stuff to differentiate myself from y'all. Take and look, see if there's anything on Google Trends to see if I could capitalize on that fit within the American Reaction niche. Like, I was doing this 15, 20 hours a week just in researching stuff to take and make sure I don't either step on toes. I could differentiate myself and maybe take and find something hot to get that boost.
Yeah. It's my thing is with the community is like, you know, you see us, you how do I say this? It's gonna be, I want to try to word this right, and I'm not a wordsmith, right? Which is terrible. But look, like, the audience gets us for either the intro or outro, or when we pause. That's where they get our personality. They can connect with us. That's us personal, on a personal level, within this thing that you want us to check out. So, you know, having things like these talks, showing our communities that we're closer than what you guys might perceive us to be. Like, we can all talk, you know, and that's a huge I think that's a huge thing, because I want us all to be successful, but also we have to adapt and we have to change. We have to figure it out as well. And if you're coming to our channel just for the content, fair point, that's what you got. But if you really, you know, vibe with us and like our personalities, make sure you're part of the community that we're building and follow our projects where we go. You know, like, that's the best way. You don't have to be a huge commenter on videos, right? But just knowing that you traveled from this project to this other channel.
I think the biggest example of that's like Elaine Shankshaft.
Mm-hmm.
She has followed me, I think from the first channel to this one, and anything else I've tried to take and do on any other channel, if I'm live and she sees it, she's in there. Same thing with Bri K. Same thing with Art Monkey. Same thing. There's quite a few that you notice that
Yep.
either they'll comment in every video or they'll take and wind up showing up on a live stream, even if they don't comment on videos.
Yeah.
And people like that are more important than what we might take and give them credit for. But it's such a morale booster, just knowing that there's people that vibe with you personally and your
That's
personality.
that's like one of the ride or dies, you know, like
Hmm.
that's the true community. And that's why we do our lives, that's why we do our things, that's why
Yeah,
we reach out, is like we're talking to those. A community is healthy if you have at least 10 to 15 to 20 of them in your community, those
yeah,
ride or dies,
yeah,
you know. And it means the world when we take a big risk starting another channel, another venture. Maybe people think of it, oh, you're trying to get more money. Like, no, we know that whatever we want to do, and where it's like it's an adventure. We don't know if it's going to work, but we know if that shit goes on this channel, it's
it
going
ain't
to
gonna
kill
work.
it. It's
Yeah,
going to kill the channel, and you're going to stop seeing videos.
yeah. Oh yeah,
So
100%.
it's important, wherever you are watching this, or whoever you're subscribed to, or even if you're not subscribed to both of us and you're watching two men yell at the sky, like like whoever you align with, make sure you're part of their community, not just a subscriber to the channel.
Which
you know
rebuilding my relationship in my community is something I've got to take and work on going forward as well. Because I don't know how everything was for y'all, but I know from my channel, I went from 1,300 subs to 10,000 within a month,
mm,
and I went from 10,000 to 30,000, then from 30,000 to 45, and then from 45 to 60, and then 70 to 100 was a slower grind than the 1,300 to 70,000. That shit was so overwhelming because normally your channel don't scale that way
no.
at all.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? So I took a step back from everything, including like my Discord server, and I didn't know how to handle that shit. So
Yeah.
now I try to take and go in there. I'm trying to take and go back in, a couple times a week. Hey, how's everybody going? How's the snooker going? To Rory and a couple others that are mainstays within my server. But that's something that having those people that are the ride or dies, like that's immeasurable,
Yeah.
immeasurable, and an amount of confidence it gives you, an amount of
it
solace
it
it gives you.
it feels like you're not just out here screaming at this machine.
Hmm.
That's it makes this crazy internet thing more humanized, which is nuts to say.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's my I feel like that's my big thing, and that's another reason we're doing these kind of talks just on Arias in the Nation. People, I've been wanting to put out, I'm done with reaction video. I'm done with reaction videos on Arias in the Nation, but it's just like, I'm not saying that because there are certain bands, certain musicians that have built the channel, or have actually allied, allied with the
yeah,
channel, that we will get to.
yeah.
Like artists actually commenting on the video, they take preference. Obviously, I've reached out to tons of artists, musicians, and stuff to bring them on for a talk, and only one has come on the channel. And
Pegasus.
no, oh, no, 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 oh no, I guess he is
Has he?
a
Yeah, he's
I
an
guess
art.
he is a I guess he is a rapper. No,
Yeah,
I meant Nini Music, the Taiwanese folk
really?
metal.
She come
Yeah,
on?
yeah, she was on AGT. Yeah,
I missed that somehow, bro. She is fucking all. Her
she's
music is
awesome.
awesome. I found
Yeah,
her a year or so ago, and I just entranced by the ethereal way that she's able to take and make the music. Like she is fucking amazing.
yeah, she's
I'm
dope.
impressed.
Yeah, but we talked to her before
And,
AGT, or I don't know how it works over there. I think they record
see,
it, right?
that's one of those things with music. I don't think a lot of folks understand the boost it gives to your confidence as a channel, especially a smaller channel. Whenever you have either artists either comment or like I've had uh, Roy Chubby Brown for the big channel. He took and shared out my reaction on TikTok to
Wow.
my first video I did of him. But I've had Low Key and Mike Righteous and a couple other artist Devlin put snippets of my reactions to their songs
That's
on their
awesome.
Instagram stories and stuff like that, like Upchurch rolling through. And then I had Books, I had Redman, and Official Impact, 3 artists that, hey, I'm about to take and drop a song. Here's the video for it. Go ahead and have the reaction done. So that way, when I drop the song, you can drop a reaction. They were
That's
smaller
awesome.
artists, but having stuff like that, and another guy, Lines, as well. And Lines lined up with me quick.
Yeah.
Like my first channel, my first 3 videos, his Drake cover that he did in my city or whatever, dude. I did the reaction to that. He emailed me the next fucking day, and anytime he took and was going to drop something, I got it before it dropped.
That's awesome. See, like that shit it's just you never know who's watching. You never
Yeah.
know who's watching, and it brings the community closer, right? But yeah, so Nini Music is the only one I've had on the channel as an artist. Black Pegasus BP, like he came on as a reactor. I asked him as a reactor to, hey man, let's bring our
And
communities together
he's
and
been in the
talk.
game. He's been in the game for a hot minute on both sides of the aisle, not only as an independent
Yeah.
artist but also as a reactor as well.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
him, Knox Hill, and Cliff Beats, they've all got a little consortium taking it going on, which I'd love to get into at some
yeah.
point in time. But I know theirs is more music related, and I've kind of stepped away from the music, which I could
Yeah.
rebuild. I knew if I wanted to, but
Like I said, I think it's how do I say it? It's a cruel mistress here on YouTube, and it's fucking
it's because of
nonsensical algorithm.
it's because of demands.
Yep.
You basically have to upload every day.
Yep. No one's got time for that, man. Like, hear me out.
And if you're not uploading every day, you've got to take and have at least a consistent schedule for the days that you do take an upload.
And consistency is absolutely impossible when you are a husband, a father, and you're just trying to make it. It's because life comes at you, random times, and you have to be able to balance it all. The work-life balance is insane, and
Oh
what's
yeah, 100%.
demanded is instant. It's like instant creativity. This demands instant creativity, and creativity does not work like that at all.
No,
Like not
no,
in
no.
it, so yeah, man. I'm excited to see what the future holds for the EB brand, man. Where you're going with it. I'm excited, as I will, speaking for myself, and I'm going to speak on behalf of Embrace the Suck. We got your back no matter where you go, man.
Oh, I've got y'all too. Even across y'all's 400 different channels, it's hard to keep up.
Yeah,
with.
it's my goal. My goal is to have enough channels out there I can just monetize my goddamn self. Like
Well, see, it's funny you say that. That's part of my goal going forward, and it's something that who was it? This I can't remember who said it, but your goal should be to monetize yourself.
Yeah.
So it's funny. This is how much like I haven't known how to act the last couple of days because I haven't been recording anything for reaction purposes. Now I've got to tonight at some point in time for my Patreon members.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so ingrained in my DNA that I switched all my channel tags to like sports related stuff. And then last night I went there and put reactions back as one of the tags for upload. But because it's so
Yeah.
I'm not going to, I need a break from it right now. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing it for 5 years. I've got to take a month or two and kind of deprogram my brain from everything being that would be great for reaction purposes because it might be the case, but it also takes away from something that I could be watching with the wife, binge watching on the weekend whenever she's not working or something.
Mm-hmm.
Once I can kind of get past that, I'm still experimenting as far as what packaging, how I want to take and package stuff, whether that's a separate channel and I do traditional stuff as well and have two different reaction channels. One with like I said, I've got an idea for the way I want to take and package stuff going forward. That's going to be a little bit different than it'll be like you're watching. Yeah, you'll be watching. You'll get the reaction, but it'll be packaged within something to make it to where it's not like watching a reaction.
Yeah,
so to speak.
That'll be awesome. I want us all as a community to learn how to adapt together, because not only are we taking big risks, and we have to change. Like,
Oh,
dude,
one thing's for sure. I pull this off. Other channels start doing it. You're
oh,
gonna
of
know who
course.
you're gonna know who the first person that attempted this is. There'll
Yep.
be no fucking doubt about it.
Nope.
And it'd be definitely be, and I know people copy, so I know that's gonna happen. But there'll be no mistake of like that motherfucker started it first.
Yep.
But you got to kind of have that mindset taking to doing anything on fucking YouTube,
Yes.
whatever your fucking niche is, because you've got to find that way to take and stand out, to take and get seen. I want to take and grow my community, and I ain't gonna lie, I do want to make some money doing this motherfucking thing. You know what I'm
It'd be
saying?
nice.
You got to, because bills need to be paid around the
Yep.
fucking house.
And
Kids have fucking dental bills and
it
shit.
has
You know what I'm saying?
to, like, it's not just about the money, but what happens is the time invested in has to be
It has to be.
it has
It
to
has
be
to get
worth it.
past just a community. It has
Yeah,
to be worth it.
because it's like right now, I could be up with my wife doing other stuff, right? But we're doing this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
this is,
we're sitting here having a a 2-man reaction circle jerk here, but
yeah, pretty much, man. But like, I want us, all in this community to find the correct avenue when that time comes, if it ever does, to be able to change. And I more than anything want the communities that are part of the channel to understand that change has to be had and is inevitable. Like,
well,
like
the right outside, like we were talking beforehand, outside of some of the larger channels, and I'm talking, when I say larger channels, I'm talking about 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, a
yeah.
million, 3 million, like No Life Shack has, which I think he's the largest reaction channel right now.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of them, you're seeing a lot of the smaller channels starting to fall by the wayside, because reactions are starting to get depressed within the algorithm across the board.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be able to take and play not only via your editing, but also the way you take and present what you're reacting to. You're going to have to take and play along the same along these corporate videos that are on the main page, and along the more polished reaction videos
Yeah.
and channels that are making it. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't do that, I think within the next 6-7 months, you're going to see a lot of the smaller channels start to take and either switch their content completely or fall off. This for me is just a break to take and recalibrate. And
so you're taking a knee. You're just taking a strategic knee right now
yeah,
to regroup.
at the moment, because like I said, I'm going to be doing reactions again. I probably will take and go back to doing traditional, but I do want to take and have that ability.
We're very fortunate to have started when we did, right? We are very fortunate to have started and been a part of that class when we were, like,
we all started at the perfect time, because COVID was going worldwide. Our niche, American Reacts to UK content, the UK was locked down longer than we were.
Yeah.
They had nothing to do but to take and sit there and play video games or watch YouTube all day. Yeah. So we caught a perfect storm. That's not even gonna lie. Without that, I don't know if our channels would be as big as they are at the moment.
I highly doubt that. But now that all that shit is kind of sort of settling and things are kind of sort of, getting back into a busy rhythm, just for the individual, the regular subscriber to the channel, their lives are getting back to whatever that is that normal was. YouTube isn't forefront. YouTube is afterthought. So
exactly.
But with the renormalizing of their lives now, in a good way, we have to adjust fire as well.
Exactly. We have to adjust 100%.
And
it's
so
because one of the things that a lot of folks don't know is reactions are very seasonal.
Mm-hmm.
Like during the holidays, we see a dip. We'll take it if it's unless it's that holiday based. We'll see a dip.
Yep.
Summertime, at least what the UK has for their summer break and their holiday time and stuff like that. Their kids are out for school, stuff like that. We see a dip.
Yep.
Just after Christmas, normally. About the first month, we see a dip. So Christmas and just after Christmas, we see a dip. About May, June into July, we see a dip. And everything picks back up in between those times. And that's when you take and grow your community. But those other times, there's about 4.5 months out of the year, we see a dip in everything, 100%.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how this period changes channels. And plus, remember, I'm not going to get political ever, but election year on YouTube is some of the wackiest shit.
Which wasn't there a debate last night?
I have no idea, bro.
I know there's supposed to be a Kamala Harris and Donald Trump debate at some point in time.
Yeah, you stream that, bro. Right back up. The algorithm right to the face. It'll be the fucking Spartan kick right to your channel face, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, but the unfortunate part is I would have to take and continue on the vein and pick a side, and I can't stand either one of the fucking candidates.
Not sustainable.
I think we're fucked either way with both of them.
I'm more of a just to watch it fucking burn, bro. Like, I don't know.
Was there for a minute in 2020. We watched everything burn.
Yeah, for a minute, yeah, we did. But yeah, so listen, guys, I think we'll wrap it up here. Listen, if you don't know who this magnificently bearded human is right here, go check his channel out.
You're not missing much, but
pay attention to his channel.
I'd be grateful if you check me out.
Check him out. All links are in the description, which is I would say harder to find than the person who killed Kennedy. Like, I swear to God, there's a link that says more, a little drop that says more. No one knows where it exists. It doesn't exist. It's like a conspiracy theory.
You have to
that descriptions exist.
You almost have to do a pinned comment if you want to. If you want your subscribers to pay attention to anything, a pinned comment.
I want to do a reaction video to me showing people where to click. The more, just a tutorial, kind of what is this mythical description that these YouTubers keep talking about? I found the description. That's my title of my video. YouTube hack. But yeah, no, all of EB's links are going to be in this description. Definitely check it out. And across the board, guys, make sure you're part of your favorite YouTubers community, not just a subscriber to their channel. There's a big difference. So I'm talking about, guys, life happens.
Yeah, we got a new kitten, and beautiful little kitten, sweet, spoiled rotten already, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but sweet, playful. I wish we'd waited about 3 months on it.
No, man. Yeah, no, I got you. But as I was saying, guys, as we're wrapping up, make sure you check out all of EB's stuff. All links are in the description. Swear to God, they're there. And be part of the communities that we've built, and not just a passer through of the channel or just a subscriber and think that's it. It's better to stay plugged in and notified of everything. And EB, thank you for just hopping on the channel, man. It's good to have you back again.
Thanks for having me. It's been too long since we've done one of our late night bullshit sessions. Or
yeah.
If we do that again, I have to take and redo my thing on Midjourney. Or is that still a thing for you?
I have no idea. I haven't touched that stuff for a minute, dude. I haven't touched that stuff for a minute.
No, I appreciate you asking me to take him on here, because it's been awesome watching the growth of Embrace the Suck 21, and then you starting Arias in the Nation. I remember when you first started this channel, and I remember some of the frustration you were having. So to see things take off the way it did, and y'all branching out the way y'all branched out, it's been really, really cool to see. So
we have something for everyone. That's for damn sure. Within the footprint, that is. But anyway, guys, listen, much love. Make sure you unplug and do something legendary, and I'll see you over on EB's channel at some point. All right. Thanks again, EB. You're a legend, man.
Yeah, man.
All right. Later, guys.